Welcome to the show. Here we are. We are moments away from the Fed rate decision. Everybody knows that it's going to be a 25 basis point cut, or at least it's expected. We have to wait and see what the Fed actually does. The market is sort of on pins and needles at this point. And what I believe will happen is when we get that initial news release, I believe that the algos will take over because no, people are not sitting there like you and I waiting for that news. Algorithms, algo trading machines are going to hit the headline news and they're going to pop, right? Now, we're going to see after half an hour, the market will have some time to digest that. There'll be basically a reaction and then there'll be a rethink. The rethink is largely going to come after the Fed begins to talk. We have no idea. Now, when he begins to talk, then we're going to find out whether or not the additional rate cuts that have been added are actually in mind by the Fed. Now, I'm doing something a little bit different today. You guys can see that I made this link public. So anybody can watch this show. This is normally a show that's set aside for my pro trading community, ChartGoat University, Stocks with Josh Hart fam. But I'm making it available for everybody. And we're not going to be covering stocks and news stories as much today as we are going to be trading the market. We're going to be doing some active trading and looking for the cash. We paper chasing today, my friends, and I expect to get some. I got Michael in the green room. I'm going to bring him out, and I'm kind of pumped today. Before I even bring Michael out, let's talk about a stock. Now, nobody out there has an excuse. If they're not subscribed, that's the only excuse I could think of for why you're not making money. What did I give y'all yesterday? ampx. And what did I tell you it was going to do? Pump. And what did it do? It pumped. Now, I'm not just, a hype guy. I'm here for disciplined trading. As I've said, no plan, no patience, no discipline. You will not get rich on Wall Street. But if you can learn those things, there's a heck of a lot of money to be made. I'm impressed by it. I've never stopped being amazed at what Wall Street can produce. I gave on my show a couple weeks back some people that turned $200 into $25,000 on that Oracle pump. Larry Ellison wasn't the only one who got rich off that. I've got to show these guys. I'll bring you in here, Michael, just a minute. But I got to show you guys that ampx pump. The confirmation was get in on a daily close above $8 right here. That's what we were told. Bam, bam, bam. And I told you my first take profit was $9.90. And I alerted the Discord moments before it hit that I was going to take some profit. Now, why? Why did I do that? You say, Josh, it's above $9.90. Aren't you sad? No. You have to have a trade plan. And my plan is to take risk along the way and to take profit along the way. So you phase in and you phase out of the trade. I'm super happy with the money I made today on this move. Super happy with it. I don't even need to do any more trading, but we're going to do some anyways. Let's bring Michael on. Michael, did you make any money on that ampx?
Hey, brother, I didn't get it, Josh.
That's okay. I know. Did you live trade with the family this morning?
I did. I tried to, Josh. My internet went down at
no. That's okay.
9, brother, and got off to a rough start this morning. We was late this morning. We've killed it for the past 2 days.
I know you've been stacking some wins there the day before.
Yep. We've had a good week. Had a slow morning this morning. I think a little sell off into this news today. I'm kind of antsy to see what's going to happen here. See if we're going to get a pop.
I think we're going to get a pop, but I don't know. I'm guessing. I did tell everybody yesterday, if the market pulled back in a little hesitation yesterday, there's absolutely no reason why it wouldn't continue that trend until we got the news. So this is just a little bit of hedging against the idea that maybe the Fed won't give a rate cut. And so largely, we're going to know here in about 8 minutes, and I think we're going to see some fireworks. Guys, if you don't know who Michael is, Michael has his own YouTube page called Spy Lord Scalps, and he is also a crown trader in my Discord. And if you don't know what the Discord is, it's my pro trading community. And when I'm not live trading, I live trade on Wednesdays and Fridays for the VIP or trader tier. And Michael is live trading 5 days a week, 2 days with me, 3 days when I'm not. And they're stacking wins over there. And we have now added 2 more crowned traders. Tamir is here. He's not on the show today, but he's going to join us. And he is so pumped about sharing his knowledge. He's a heavy hitter, guys. And what does that mean? It means that he has someone who's not trying to grow a small account from 500 to 5,000. He's somebody trying to grow, a six-figure account to millions. And he takes big risk. As a result, he learns some big lessons, and he's going to share those with you. This is more support in the Stocks with Josh Discord for people who are at all ranges of their trading experience. So we're getting a little bitty flag here. Michael, what are your thoughts? Why don't we've got a few more minutes. We're watching the charts. Personally, I believe that we're creeping up off the bottom.
Yeah,
and we're going to see some wicks, guys. We're going to see some wicks. But as soon as we see one thing, I only need to see one thing, and that's a dominant green candle. Okay, so if we get a candle that towers above every other volume candle made today, I'm going to believe it, and I'm going to buy some SPY. That's what I'm going to be trading today. SPY and maybe Tesla. Michael, I'm going to have you give your view on the charts here this morning. I'll let you pull up your charts. Have you got your chart ready to share? Yep, you do. And I'm going to quickly go over to my charts real quick and just show people what I've got set up. These are the A-plus scalp trade setups that I provide everybody half an hour before the market opens. SPY didn't signal. It came down and kissed this level, but it didn't close beneath it. So really, we are just trading sideways for the most part, and we're waiting for this news event. Got to talk about BABA. Okay, BABA. So we are dead center to my take profit zone here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take some profit. Now, do I think this can keep climbing? I mean, it looks very attractive up to 180 and 190. It really does. But, I alerted it here on the first day of September, and I predicted, I said, there's a lot of you guys out there that just aren't going to listen to me. And sure enough, there are people in the comments saying, Josh, hey, I'm locking in some gains. And I told everybody, I said, the reason why we're going to go long on this for the month of September is this massive volume node down here. Just incredible. And guess what we got again? We got another one right here on the cross of a resistance. Now, these have been changed, but another massive volume node, which meant that if they bought here and loved it, they bought here and loved it again. And what did that lead to? It led to us popping up. Now, today we got a little bitty candle, and this is a slowdown, okay? And so I'm going to lock in profit here on BABA, just not all of it, just phasing out, 20%. Haven't sold any. I want to wait and see what happens today, and I'll be taking some profit. Google's had a little pullback, but let me pull up the analysis. So we touched the profit zone. I locked in a little profit, and I advised everybody in the Discord yesterday, right here, locked in a little profit right there. My stop loss is set to 244.25, but we got in right here on this one, 224. So I'm not afraid. My plan is setting in place, and if it rockets up into this profit zone, I'm gonna be super, super happy. All right, Michael, why don't you throw up your chart? I'm gonna throw up your chart and give me some thoughts on what you're watching today. What looks hot? What will you buy if the market responds favorably to the Fed?
Well, right now, Amazon has already made its way. I've played Amazon 2 times off the lows here today. Amazon's made its way back above VWAP for now, and with this big sell-off, if we clear back over pre-market high up here, I'm on 15 minutes. This thing could run on back towards 234.50 and above. I am watching SPY heavy. Already got I'm on 15. We're late in the day. I'm on 15-minute candles. Watching this MACD to cross up. We've already got a cross on the RSI, and we're pushing 50. So we're nearing a flip point here if we get some good news and it pops.
All right. Well, I need to get on the. As I'm sitting here thinking about it, I need to get on the table with a couple clarifications. So, just a little bit ago, right before the open, I bought some of these, but I'm going to let you guys know this is not a suggestion for what you should buy, sell, or hold. I'm in some SPY 658 calls, expiration date 9/18. Yeah, those are tomorrow. Yeah, these are up a little bit. And my goal for these is to be a placeholder. Let me put my face up. My goal for these is to be a placeholder for the move. So, I want you guys to be aware that when you hear me start saying I'm cutting a position or I'm up 20%, you know what I'm talking about. Right now, these are up 8%. These are the 658 calls. expiring tomorrow. That's the main position I'm trading. And let me tell you guys, if it pops, if it drops, because who knows, the Fed doesn't give no cut. Nobody knows. I think he'll give a cut. But if it drops or even wicks, I'm going to wait 5 minutes probably, unless that volume node is just huge. I'll wait a little bit, let it fluctuate, and hopefully we'll get a very dominant green volume bar. But we'll see what the Fed does here. That's my initial position. I'm going to recap because I know there are people in here who are beginners and stuff that we do and say we move quick, and then you guys are saying, what are they doing? What are they doing? Michael, you just highlighted, which stock did you highlight again? Amazon?
Amazon and SPY, yep.
Okay, so to be clear, he just showed you in his chart that if Amazon gets above market open or the initial opening range, was that, you going by 15-minute, Michael?
That was 15. Yeah, we're at opening range low right now.
Okay, so if we get above that, he told you he's taking Amazon. So those are your buy alerts. But this is a public YouTube video, so it's not a suggestion for what you should buy, sell, or hold. I assume all of you are paper trading. Michael, which Amazon option would you be interested in?
232.50s for tomorrow. 232.50 strikes for this Friday.
All right, guys, get ready. It's 12:59. We have 29 seconds left. This option is up 14%. Yep. Let's see what the market gives us. I'm going to be watching the charts at the moment. We're looking for fireworks, the good kind, not the red candles. Let it fluctuate and don't be afraid. I will lock in some gains slowly. I'm at 15% now. And I'm going to let this, today could be a good day, 16%. Let's get it going. Come on. And don't be afraid of fluctuation. If all of a sudden this thing drops 20%, remember, boom, bam, now, shoot, 26%. Woo, let's make some money. I knew we were going to make some money, folks, today. 34%. Pump, 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 pump. I told you we were going to make some money. I got you prepared. Everybody should be winning. Stacking gains from yesterday to today, 36%. All right, I'm going to take a little off right here, just a little off. That is most people's entire day. You know, that's, really, that's income for a week, a month for many people. I don't know how much folks are making out there, but that, Wall Street is a place where you can go get rich. All right, we're getting a little fluctuation. What we're really watching, and a lot of you guys are watching that candle, and I care about that candle, but what I'm really watching is the volume. We need a dominant volume bar. We don't have it yet. So that's what I'm watching, guys. Right down at the bottom of the screen. We don't have a dominant volume bar yet. All right. Because that was a fast 35%, and I locked in a portion of that, obviously we're seeing some fluctuation. I can protect the rest by putting a stop loss in at my break even, but I'm going to let it cook. Volume is coming up, but we need to see a stronger volume reaction. And that wick doesn't scare me. It might scare you, but we've seen this before. And if I get quiet, it's because I'm making some decisions. We're watching it carefully. How's Amazon looking?
It's creeping. I'm break even on this right now. It was up about 5 or 8%. It's going to move slower.
All right, and make sure while you guys are out there watching this video live that you recognize that the timing of the video may be off. So I re-added when I got quiet, I re-added my take profit, and so my percentage here has changed a little bit, but I'm up, so I doubled my position basically back to where it had been. And I'm sitting on 20% there. So we are watching this carefully, guys. When I'm done making this trade, we'll slow things down. And I do have a little video content for you today. I've got a new pick. And it has not been wise to ignore these picks. I've got something that I'm a little bit ahead of schedule on it. Or some people might say I'm behind schedule. It's had a big move today. But I believe it's going to have a bigger move in the month of October. So I'm going to prepare you guys for that. So now, fully resized position back to 22%. Volume is starting to look attractive. Now let's pay attention, guys. See how that volume bar is giant? dominating above the other bars, almost twice as big. It's so important that you guys learn this volume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
Boom,
17,
baby.
18, 19, 20 bars. This bar is bigger. This is what we were talking about. I knew that the larger bar is our buy signal. Bam, we're rocketing. Double position size, back up 37%. Double position size, back up. So really, I've made, I'm not going to sit here and talk about, we celebrate the wins, but the reason why I mention the wins is, I'm stacking tomorrow's and Friday's wins. Everything will be gravy at this point. I knew today was going to be a good day, and we're getting some nice action and reaction. So not afraid of these candles, not afraid of this volume. It's looking really good to me. Adina, thank you for being here. Snapchat, I've been so wanting to talk about Snap for the last couple of weeks, and you guys might say, well, why aren't you? It takes time. You got to, I want to do my research and sound intelligent when I'm talking about something. It's more than just the charts. I got to dive into the fundamentals. But Snapchat has been something that I've been watching and expecting to rip, and it is ripping. The one I'm going to give you guys today when we're done live trading is also one that I think is going to be a big rip monster for October. Yeah, I had to give Stock Brother a little love today. If you don't know who Stock Brother is, first of all, he's got a channel on YouTube called Stock Brother, and he is, I love the guy. He's great at penny stocks. He's good at research, and he's got a very unique style on YouTube, and you guys should go over there and check out his channel. He's also one of my crown traders in the Stocks with Josh Discord, and he's given some incredible wins, life-changing money wins. He made over $100,000 on a penny stock play a month ago, and we made a ton of money. I shared that particular play. We're pumping now, full position size, not taking any profits right now. I'm looking for the bigger, fatter gains, 35%. The candle's huge. The candle and the volume surge is huge. So it's doing what I wanted to do. We're definitely going to hold this until 662.40. Part of these lines you see on my chart are part of my A-plus scalp setups that I give the family half an hour before the market opens. This is the area we're moving towards. If you go back, people that are in this Discord will tell you that these lines are golden. If I've taken the time to chart this out for you guys every single morning, if we cross these thresholds, like we crossed this threshold, you can see this was an area of resistance here and here and here. The minute we broke over it, that's your buy signal. So you get these alerts half an hour before the market opens, and when the price crosses, you buy. If you did that here on this one, bam, you're up with me. I'm at about 33%. I want to see this thing continue. I could potentially take it 25% down, half down a little bit from here. I'm going to take 20% off the table. It's good discipline to lock in gains. The market's apprehensive. The market's scared of what the Fed is going to say. I think this is a muted reaction. So I'd like to see a little bit more. They're holding off. I'm seeing some temperance. If I'm quiet, I'm probably selling or buying something. So I took down my position a little bit. I'm still confident in this position. I'm just up a lot, and I don't want to give any back. So we made some money. I might reload here as we continue to build. We'll have to wait and see where we're at when the Fed gets to speaking. Let's take a step back. We've had a look at that volume, man. That's some serious buying right there.
Doggone right.
G-Man says, surprise, I will raise interest rates. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? He'd be the most hated Fed in history. Trump would deploy, some military. Go get him. All right, we'll take a step back and let these candles cook for a minute. Tesla, incredible rip there. Someone was asking me about...
Somebody's asking about Serve. I'm still holding Serve. I'm still holding it. This is what I was waiting on to see what was going to happen today. I'm still holding Serve. Updated and updated.
Yeah. So, we're in a day today. I am predicting a. Yes.
We just back tested. We just back tested high of day, Josh. So
okay.
660.70. Just back tested that.
Are we talking about on Amazon or
On SPY.
On SPY. So you're talking about
Yep.
we just
On the
previous high of
5-minute
day.
candle.
Yeah. I
Yep.
follow you.
Yep.
I follow you. Yeah. Well, I've already reloaded once. I could technically reload here, back up. I'm gonna just give it a little minute. You know, we've already made money, so I try to teach this as a discipline. We've made money. You know, we took risk. Let you guys know we took risk. Fat 35% here, and I'll keep taking risks. But I reloaded when it pulled back, got it back up again. Took more risk. Will we do it for the third time? Well, let's give it a little bit of time.
Here we go.
You know, when you get excited, and I'm excited about making money, when you get excited, sometimes you got to cool off. Got to cool the jets for a minute. All right. Let's
Fed reduces. Is it official now? Newly sworn governors just ended in favor of 50 basis points cut.
So what did we get?
Got 25. Balance of risk has shifted.
Fed approves quarter-point interest rate cut and sees 2 more. Interestingly, that's kind of what the market expected, 3 rate cuts this year. Median projections see Fed funds rate at 3.6% this year, 3.4% in 2026, and 3.1% in 2027. So the projection for next year and the following year might be muting this reaction a little bit from my point of view. Fed reduces rates by 25 basis points to new range of 4 to 4.25%. So I wanted to discuss Intel, and I'll discuss that in a minute. I think that Intel has to maintain 25. And I talked about Intel about a week ago, and right around the time it was $24. And I said, if we close above $25 on the week, then we should begin to push higher. I'll get to that here in just a second. I'm going to just keep an eye on these charts. So I'm going to go back to the chart real quick and talk about where we're at. I'm also going to keep an eye on this trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're looking fine. So what my consideration is this: we want to get closed back above 660 here. If we don't, then my position, as I mentioned to you guys, I'm going to take a little off here, and I'm going to stop loss mine. Whatever initial position I have left, I'm going to stop loss at my break even. And if we choose to get back in this, it'll only be because we get back above 660, 62. We're going to be using the trend lines. This is a pretty big seller's wick right now, and it has to quickly push above that, because at the moment this is a rejection wick. So we want to be mindful that that's a rejection wick. And the following needs to be a continued pump. If it's not, if we don't close this candle back above 660, I will not be holding any SPY. Matter of fact, I'll begin to look at puts.
Yep.
So you've got to be nimble. You cannot be married to anything. You can't try to be a diehard, because diehards in the world of Wall Street, they truly die a hard death.
Pretty hard selling on NVDA, Palantir, AMD, Josh.
All right, so I've been kicked out of the remainder of my position. I was scaling down as I was seeing some weakness. Again, I want to be very clear. We trade the scalps. We trade the trend lines. So if we lose VWAP, and this is around the time that we will turn around and put VWAP on our charts. So I've got the 29 and the 20. I'm going to turn that off for now. We are closing underneath VWAP. And what the main lesson that you guys can take from me right now is we are in the chop zone. And so I'm not going to try to, I could potentially take puts if we closed beneath VWAP, but the reason why I won't is while we're in the chop zone, if the Fed says something that is bullish, we'll just go right back to rocketing. So we've got to be mindful at this point. Two things: not to overtrade because we've just made 35% in 5 minutes. And two, we need to give it some room to confirm above these levels. And if you feel like, well, I missed it, or I was very slow and I joined this video and I bought right here and now it's dropping. Well, first of all, if you're in this trade for some reason up here and you got in here, the trade is over if you cross back beneath these lines. All of these lines are on the chart for a reason. You need to mind them. So we're going to watch for this to close underneath here. And if we do, we'll take some puts. Matter of fact, I'm looking at puts now to prepare for that. Don't front run me. If you do, you'll try to outbear the bear. You'll get caught in the bear trap. I'm going to be patient. Remember, people have no plan. They have no patience. They have no discipline. We're going to exercise all three and make some money. All right, we got cross of threshold. I'm going to go in with a little bit smaller position than I did. Now, we don't have a closed confirmation, which means if we don't close beneath 652, I will not hold this position. But because we crossed, I'm going to take it.
Knocking on the door for sure. 658.10, low of day.
Yep, we're continuing on the trek down. These are up now 8%.
Yep.
Making money in front of you guys. This is the third trade here. I got a fat 10%. I'm going to be careful. I'm going to put my stop loss in at break even. Let me go and do that. What that means is baby. I go and create.
Yeah, baby. 20%,
it's printing.
Baby.
20%.
Boom.
Woo! Now
boom, baby.
You guys are like, I'm scared. I'm scared. This is moving too fast. This is Wall Street. The trains are zipping by. We're moving fast today. Up
both ways.
20%. Third trade of the show. Again, if this show is not live, do not be trading these things. This is not a suggestion for what you should buy, sell, or hold. I'm actually locking in some profits, guys. So that was a quick,
20.
fat 20%. We're going to watch it. We're going to give it a little bit of time to do its thing now. We're slowing down. We've made 3 trades here. Everybody should be winning. If you're not winning, join the Discord and get the education that you need. Put the foundations in place so this begins to make sense. Okay, we're just dancing on the trend line. We didn't close anyways. We had 3 minutes and 42 seconds left on this candle. Closing beneath this threshold is extremely important. If this sucks back up into this zone, then it's a no-go zone. You don't want to be in puts if we're back in this zone. You only want to be in puts if we get a confirmation candle that closes. Now, I entered on cross of price, but I also was nimble that if we had retreated, I would have had to get out, right? But it worked out. We got a quick 20%. So right now we're in a little bit of an indecision moment. If you are out there and this is the first time you've come to my show, I would appreciate a like. Get paid in likes here. And if you enjoyed maybe following us along and making some money, consider joining the Stocks with Josh Discord. It's a place where you get educated, you learn the charts, and you can actually practice what you're learning by live trading alongside me or Michael, and coming soon Tamir, Parker. Going to bring him on a live trade session. All right, so we're going to watch very carefully. Obviously, this candle, this volume node can turn from red to green. You know, this can go from red to green, and then we get back above 660. I'm going to take calls again. So, 3 trades in, all winners. 35, 35, and 20%. And we'll get more if, we're going to trade here for a little while. I'm not going to be on here all day with you guys. We're going to watch this. So I just want to be very clear. This is why these A+ scalp setups are called A+, because they're really good guiding influences. Now, this candle, we're 2 minutes away from it closing. If we close beneath it, I will jump back into those puts. If we stay above it, I'll leave it alone and let it chop. It's going to chop for a little while. This is the trade zone. So, I mean, just to talk to you about candle theory, this right now is going to be working as an active resistance because this was the moment and the price came in when sellers decided to take over, push the price down. Well, right here, we have a new defined zone. This is going to operate as buyer support. This is where the bears pushed the price down, but the bulls came in and said, no, we're not going down today. This is the indecision zone. So the VWAP is your volume weighted average price. And this is where right now you can see the price is not respecting the VWAP, which means the price is not trending, which means the market doesn't know what to do. They've reacted, they're rethinking, they're reanalyzing. They're going to figure out which direction they want to go, and they'll go. So right now we have made some money both ways. Both ways. If things slow down and I stop trading, I will chart for you guys, and we'll talk about that new stock I've got that I'm getting ready to share in the channel. ampx, calling it ampx, ampx. I'm gonna take a little bit more of my profit on ampx. So consider this your guys' alert. You don't have to. I like, one thing I wanted you guys to understand is that we're in an extended move right now. I think I made that point in yesterday's video. This hasn't really had a huge reset. High-tech batteries, I think this company can do very well. But this is really where the move began. I guess you could say right here was the breakout. And this is an extension of that move. So this was only $2. And so instead of viewing this as a $10 cheap stock, recognize that to those who bought it over here, this is just incredible profits. So Fibonacci is at the highest percentage likelihood of rejection or reversal at the current level that it's at right now. So on the Fib trend-based extension, we're at the highest potential level, keeping an eye on it, highest potential level for rejection. So makes a ton of sense for me to lock in some gains here. This is an extended move, and we made money on it again. INTC, I kind of want to talk about that. Everything on this show, technicals are an if-then game, and it's not witchcraft. I'm not over here with some, broken bones and staring at the moon trying to figure out. It's an if-then based on price action. That's why there's lines on my chart. That's why there's prices on my chart. And so right now we had this move on Intel. Now, in a video about a week ago, I told everybody confirmation of a move up to $30 and into this profit zone. Confirmation is a weekly candle closing above 25. Weekly candle didn't close. Weekly candle didn't close. Weekly candle didn't close. Didn't close. Didn't close. Didn't close. So people come back and they ask me, Michael, they say, well, what's going on with Intel, Josh? You were so bullish on it the other day. No, I'm bullish on it if the weekly candle closes above 25, my good friends. So we don't have a confirmation there. We just don't. And if we get into the September pullback that I predicted in yesterday's video, later in, this tail end pullback for the rest of this month. September is never a great month. We've had a beautiful rally on it. Everything I gave you guys is pumped. But if we get that pullback, then this can absolutely come back to $22. And that's actually where I would reload it because I'm actually bullish on Intel. But it's testing 25. Volume has dried up, which means that the bulls or Wall Street might be thinking that they can get this at a better price. What's the better price? $22. And some people get confused, Michael, and they say, Josh, you can come back and you can come back and say that you were right about Intel. I'm 100% right on Intel. Didn't close above 25. I told you that I would rebuy at 22. It hasn't closed above 25, guys. So I'm bullish if it closes above 25. Intel's been awesome payer for us, but next pullback zone, $22, I'll reload the boat. Volume is dried up, and we've got to watch volume. Michael, I'm going to let you share the screen. Lead us for a little bit. I'm going to take a break and look at some charts. I'm going to throw your screen up. What are you
bring the
watching?
SPY up here. I've got the SPY still pulled up.
We're beneath
Reset
VWAP
this.
still.
Yeah. Remove all my drawings here. We are beneath VWAP. VWAP is my white line. So people were wondering how you make all this money. Well, you make all this money on small moves on option contracts, and if you're not used to day trading option contracts, you probably shouldn't be trying to trade this stuff. These are very fast moves. This is extremely quick, and Josh told everybody at the beginning he was already starting calls right down in here. We got 2 pumps out of this candle, a total reversal. This is something that we teach. This purple line right here, this is called opening range low, morning market low. And when this red line started to cross this was starting to signal a buy. This yellow line down here is pre-market low. Even if you bought down here, you got a nice little scalp on the bottom of this red candle. Catching these at the right moment doesn't mean that you get to start entering your order and then start hitting this and start hitting that, and then your order gets filled by that time. We're probably scaling out. So this is some of this is you need to get your tools set up. You need to get your tools set up right where you can get in and out of trades in a timely manner in just a couple of seconds, honestly, when you're day trading these. So it is really fast. If you're not used to that, then this is a day you should probably sit out, or a time of day you should probably sit out, because I have made bank in the past 10 or 15 minutes with Josh just on the SPY. And it's now entering back into a chop zone. We're going back and forth now, waiting on some direction. It's unable to really cross over VWAP at this point. And we're fighting morning market low. How's the 15-minute candle look, Josh?
G-Man says, let's go. I got them child support bills. Man of responsibility. You're going to take care of the family no matter what. Kim G was smart. She locked in 35% in 5 seconds on the SPY. Kim G, well done. Stock Brothers in the house. Lindsay Crisp is here. Appreciate you being here today. We are fighting VWAP. So I'm just going to show you guys. You can see it on his chart. We're fighting VWAP. So can you make your VWAP line a bit more dominant, Michael?
Yep.
Just pop it up a little bit more. Fed's cousins race by 25 basis points. I'm just going through the comments here. Cash in 813, 30% win. Good job, guys. People are asking me about Serve. If I've got a little bit of time, I'll go over it. Guys, thank you for hitting the like and hit the subscribe. And don't sleep on joining the community. Donovan Shepard saying market will flush next week. I kind of think so too. All right, guys, we're back above VWAP, which means I'm going to take a minute to go pull. I'm just going to have do not front run me. You'll get burned. Don't front run me. I'm already thinking of getting in ahead of confirmation. So don't front run me. All right, so I'm going to look at SPY, and I'm just going to have it set up to go. So I'm going to be looking at calls, but it could go either way, calls or puts. We are waiting 4 minutes away before the Fed talks. And you guys have seen the standing joke with the Fed talking. He comes to the podium and says, good afternoon, and then everything drops and flushes. So we might be looking at puts. We're going to trade the range I gave you. We're going to trade the A-plus scalp setups that I gave the Discord half an hour before the market opened. These are going to work for us all day long. So we're going to give it some time to cook. I do think next week, I don't know what would cause the markets to go up. The only thing that I think could cause the markets to go up the entire month of September would be a trade deal with China. And there's been a little rumor that Trump has got something going, but I'm totally in a wait and see mode on that. I am not going to try to front run that bullishness.
No.
Mauro is here from Portugal. Welcome, my friend. I've got some other friends in Portugal. A good country. Okay, we're starting to move again. Low volume this time. So I'm not going to jump in these too early. Too low of a volume. Volume has to really take off. Let me see here. I'm going to Start looking carefully at it. We're starting to pump a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go.
People asking which strike to choose. Choose the strike closest to the money. Go with 660. Go with 661. Something really close to the money.
Yep.
Very
Don't
easy to
overthink
pick.
that part of things, and we're looking for confirmation over 660. Okay. Now I got a little small baby position, and I will hit scale if we cross 660. So the reason why I did that is it's easier just to ramp that position for me without having to go in and choose those options. So Fed, can come to the podium and say good afternoon, and this can flush. What I don't like, and I want to point it out to you because it's a learning opportunity. What I really dislike is this this very low green volume. So this is not a buy signal. So we trade volume here, and this is not. So we got to get above 660. So don't pull the trigger early. Fed can come in, and we're just right back here. So I just took a very small little position, and you'll hear me say cut if I cut it at a small loss. I've got room to breathe because we've already had 3 strong winning trades. If you missed the first 3 and you think I'm going to get rich with Josh on this last one, you did it wrong. You got to come next week to the Discord and do it right. Because while I'm going with smaller risk, some folks who are beginners are starting to slowly build confidence, and they go with higher risk. That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do. So let's see what happens. We're
trying to cross pre-market high right now. There it goes.
Okay, let me just keep an eye on what the Fed's doing. Newly sworn in governor, Fed balance of risks have shifted. That's dovish. I don't know if he said that today yet. Probably not. Something he might have said in the past, unless it is something he said. Fed Chair Powell talks decision to cut where rates are heading. Downside risk to unemployment has risen. These are very dovish comments. Very dovish comments. So let's keep an eye on it. You can see how these I picked this trend line at this time in the morning, and you can see how these have really served the entire day. All right, I'm going to cut that. Doesn't mean that this won't work. It's just that we need to get confirmation of this above 660. We didn't pump into his initial comments. We're just still in this indecision zone, and that was a small little tester decision. So really, when you take a step back and you look at the candles at the moment, this was our opening price, and this is our current price. So the market's really gone nowhere today. Just be mindful of that. It took in the rate decision and faded almost immediately. And we're going to be looking at puts here, guys. But I'm going to say the same thing I said a moment ago. We have to see volume pick up on one of these decisions, because this is really just a bunch of chop. I'm betting that the reason why the market is selling off is that the comments of the Fed are too dovish, that he's spooking the market. going to set up puts, but again, the volume is too low, so I'm not highly motivated. I'm not doing ODTE because we're too close to close and these can expire worthless. So I want to see this candle. I'm not in these yet, even though we earlier did cross of price. These wicks have created a new area of focus. I want to see one of these wicks break. So I'm not going to take cross of price to the downside this time. The other concern that I have is this volume. This volume shows no conviction either way. Even though we keep seeing expansion, and expansion is price action moving wildly, high to the upside, to the downside, to the upside, to the downside. There's a lot of expansion, but the last two 10-minute candles have been on decreasing volume. So the market's waiting. The market's not really doing anything. At this point, because the market's not doing anything and we follow the market, we're not trying to front run the market, or we're not trying to, guess the market. It might seem like guesswork, but it's not. We're just trying to follow the market. Right now, the market is doing nothing. It's sitting on its hands waiting for something. Volume, we had that initial pump and volume has faded. So if the market's not responding, then we can't respond. Stock Brother is in the house. Already up 45%. Good job, Richard. Richard Roberts from Florida, I believe. I met Richard Roberts. If anybody wants to meet me, I'm going to tomorrow be flying out to Hampton, Virginia to be with Charles, stock up with Larry Jones and Keenan Grace. All right, we're back under. We're watching that volume node. I've got my finger hovering above the buy signal on some puts. These are 658 puts that expire tomorrow. I'm not in them. Please don't front run me. I really want to see a surge of bearishness. There we go. So I took. Didn't get filled, so I'm just pause for a minute, guys. I didn't get filled, so just bear with me. I'm holding off here.
Ping pong.
Ping pong.
That's all it's doing right now.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to point out to you guys up above here on TradingView, you can see, well, maybe not. Let me try to bring this into your guys' view here. There we go. Wait a minute. Let me see here. All right, guys, I'm working on my screen. Okay, you can't quite see it. Up above on your trading view is different increments of the day, 5, 10, 15, 30 minute, 4 hour. And as you get later in the day, you want to trade on a higher time frame because the market typically moves a little bit slower. We are getting, I don't know what the market is fussing. We're still leaning towards puts, but we haven't closed beneath 658.20 yet. I'd love to give you guys one more trade. We're just sitting and waiting on it for a minute. You eyeing anything, Michael?
I'm sitting here with you on SPY. I really like to start crossing 657.75 to the downside.
Okay, so I'm taking back in again on these. These are the same 658 puts. We are in a very choppy spot, so if we get in and out 2 or 3 times, you're going to be prepared for little losses like 2, 3, 4%. And if you haven't made any money yet, don't do it. Don't take these trades. That would be over trading for you. The easiest moves are behind us. We're now looking to pick up Another trade. We're looking for this to close underneath 658.20. It seems to be lingering here. The volume is coming up. That's what caused me to consider getting back in. We are not seeing the follow through yet, but I've got a little, well, my percentage win is coming and going, up 2%, down 2%, that type of thing. How's the RSI looking on this, Michael?
Let's see. You want 10 minute answer?
I'm on 10 minute.
Yeah, it's
we haven't really broke down yet.
No, we've not broke down yet. You're crossing the signal line down right now, Josh, on the 10 minute and approaching 40.
Yeah.
If we bust through 40, we're going to flush.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting it. I'm up 13, 14% on these. 15%. We're starting to print. I'm not confident. I've got a low level of confidence, so I'm not feeling the way I was in the earlier trades. We need a little bit of close below and some flushy, and then we'll get to print town. I'm at about 12, 13% from the moment I said take it. Now we're at 15%, 16, 17. We'll probably get a fat 22%. Now we're printing. Now on this show, and I'm going to look away from the charts. I'm going to bring my face up, even though we've got a live trade. Michael, explain to the larger audience what we get around here. All right, guys, let me quickly take profit while Michael's explaining to you. 25%.
Boom, baby. We get a baby, when we get a win. Yeah, we were been eyeballing that RSI. You saw it dip under 40. 10 minute. Josh has been on a 10-minute chart watching bigger candles.
All right. So I've taken profit on that, guys. Hopefully you guys are aware of that. Anytime you hear boom, it probably means I'm locking in some gains. So there you go. Everybody should have made money with me today. This is what we do. I think it's pretty clear. We've had a number of nice wins here. So we got two 35s and two 20s here. I had a small 5% loss getting in and out of the SPY a little bit. That's more expected. That's fuel. You got to put some gas in the tank to get somewhere.
He's talking now, Josh.
All right.
Pal is.
So I've got some runners on this. I'm going to babysit. I've got some runners. If it starts to rip, I'm going to put my stop loss in right now on these runners in case he says something and the markets rip.
Boom, baby. Leslie Suarez made $250 in 40 minutes while earning. Thanks, Leslie.
Where do I see Tesla today? Where do I see Tesla today? That's a good question.
I've not really saw Serve break down here. It's really just tracked with the SPY, guys. So still holding mine. We dipped to 11.26 and then come back up on Serve, but
it's possible. I just want to point out this. I want to point out my next move to you guys because I don't want people to get lost and confused and left behind. This is the next in the A+ scalp setups that I gave before the market opened. If we break beneath 656, I will rescale. We're getting there now. 30% on my runners, 31%, 35% scaled, 40%. This is printing, guys. I'm going to take a little profit again. 40%. I'm going to take down just a hair because I had rescaled. We want this candle to close. So we got 7 minutes left in this candle. If it closes, then we will take it down to 655.
It's fighting.
Yeah, I'm taking a little off, taking a little bit more off. I think we're fine, to be honest with you. I think this position is going to give us some more. But, I mean, we've already been winning. We've already been winning. And at this point, if I keep trading Eventually, I'm going to get into my violating my fourth discipline, which is to overtrade.
Overtrade.
Overtrade. Matter of fact, let me keep an eye on this for a little bit longer, and I'm going to possibly go further down. We're 6 minutes left in this candle. Michael, are you in anything? Are you taking anything?
That was it, man. I just cleared my puts and
holding 41%, printing 45%. Let's go. Let's go. Yep. They don't like Fed Powell. Keep giving it to him, Fed Powell. Whatever you're saying, keep giving it to him, brother. I'm going down. I'm taking a little bit down. So, I mean, this is fast moving at this point. Don't be adding. Don't be joining. If you weren't in the trade back here, this is not for you right now. If
we doji on a 5 right now.
Yeah, so doji on a 5 means indecision. So the down move is indecision. Indecision could turn into decision, which could be an up move. What we got going for us to the puts, I've got some runners here. I'm going to hold on to them because I got no reason not to see where it might go. What we got going for us is these red nodes at the bottom. They're dominant. These 3 nodes are bigger than everything else the market did today. So right now, the market is leaning bearish. We know that because of the volume. You have to become a student of volume to win at this game. I'd love to tell you that that's all there is. It's a multifaceted business. You're going to need to know some things. But you know what's funny is it seems overwhelming at first, and it truly is. And I was just as overwhelmed as anybody else. But the longer you spend time with it, never walk away. The longer you spend time with it, it all begins to click. When you say, Michael?
It takes time in the market, time charting, time learning your tools, how to use them, how to get in and out. It takes time.
Market don't like it. The market don't like what the Fed's saying. Fed downside risks to unemployment have risen. He's come out too dovish. Fed Chair Powell talks decision to cut where rates are heading. Job gains have slowed. Unemployment has edged up. So, yeah, he's coming out more dovish than I expected him to be. And here's the problem with that. You'd say, Josh, what's the problem? If he's dovish, why aren't the markets ripping? He set the tone by saying, I'll give you 2 more cuts this year, possibly. Mm-hmm. And if he had remained relatively neutral, we're going to be data-driven, but here are these 2 cuts, market would have liked it. That would have been bullish. But because he gave 2 cuts and then more dovishness than the market expected, now the market's thinking that he's not planning enough cuts. That's what they're thinking right now. Yeah. And so that's what's happening. Now we're back to printing again, guys. Yep. We're back 50% on these now. If you're watching with me, let me know in the comments if you made some fat gains today. When you guys hear me say on my show, we made some fat gains. 55%. This is what I'm talking about. Printing, baby. 60, not quite. 58%. I felt 60 was coming. 58%. Come on 60%.
Come on.
All right. We're having fun. I don't think we're over trading. If we took one more trade today, Michael, we'd be over trading. Hold on.
Got that right.
I think we're going to hit that 655.
I want to get a big chart up here for a second.
All right. I'm going to be
655 is what I got, Josh. 654.50 to 655 probably.
All right. I need to take a step back. I'm done trading, guys. I'm done trading for the day. Not going to hold anything. I need to get my eyes off the money so that I can talk to you guys. I don't know. It's been a little bit of a long live. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to give you a couple things before I leave. Let's take a look at ampx is doing fine. Tesla. I wanted to talk about Tesla, and then I want to share the stock that I'm going to talk about in tomorrow's video because it's not something you don't have to FOMO. When I bring stuff to you, I'm bringing it to you ahead of the time. When I Google and Baba, everyone said they've already run. I knew that they had room to run. So I told everybody that September 1st, we're going to carry these through September. You weren't late. If I'm talking about the stock, you're not late. You're just in time. So I'm going to give you a new stock today, but it's not quickly go buy it. It's just put it on your watch list, start doing your own technicals. I'll share more of my game plan over time. Let's look at Tesla real quick. Michael, if you see anything change or pop, let me know, please, sir.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right. Let's, okay. Tesla, the main point I want to make is we are in a obvious flagpole, okay? And we're forming a little pennant, and it's getting tighter and tighter, and today's a doji at the end of a flagpole. Really, to get bullish again, we've got to close a candle above 423.50. So this is where we got to close a candle above this right here. Let's go look at momentum. You know, momentum is cooling off a little bit. And, you know, I would say that in general, we're waiting for the next move. This is a consolidation moment. If you asked me to guess what would happen next, I would lean towards a pullback going into next week. If we made one more attempt to push up, I would expect it to be a fail moment. Apart from a major catalyst. Those are my opinions on Tesla. And of course, your opinions can change day to day. This is actually a bullish structure, and most of the time it confirms to the upside. However, you always want to look at where did you get the bullish structure? Did you get the bullish structure on like here, down here, after it had a huge drop, consolidated, and then you got a bullish flag pattern? That confirmed to the upside, okay? But you get one at the top of the move, it's not so bullish anymore. So I think this can fail. I think it can make a higher high and then have a stronger sell-off going into next week. So I'd be more interested in Tesla on a pullback before we get a continuation. If the markets want to go south the remainder of September, my other prediction that I gave you guys is that we have a massive, a larger cup here, and we might come back and make a handle back at 360 before breaking up going into the end of this year. I want to remind you guys about something, that rate cuts are extremely bullish for the auto industry and for home industry. And so this should be good for Elon, should be good for Tesla. Okay. I'm going to give you guys lyft. And some of you guys are going to say,
I've got it pulled up right now, Josh. I don't know if you got it.
That's what's called confluence, my friends. I promise you that me and Michael have not talked about lyft.
No, I've got it.
You know, I am more interested in the long-term opportunity behind lyft, not the immediate move. I do and did some charting for you guys today. When I pull up my chart, you should screenshot it and you should study it because it's well thought out on my part. And I'm largely interested in beginning to build a longer position. Lyft has been the underdog of rideshare. It's been discounted as not being able to really compete with Uber. Largely, it's Wall Street's been analyzing their costs and how they manage money and didn't love it. So they have tighter margins than Uber because they're coming in to compete with Uber, and they've got to be more efficient. They've got to provide some sort of a loon shot, some sort of a differentiator from Uber, and they haven't. And so right now, there have been a lot of skeptics and a lot of bears that ultimately pushed the price of Lyft down. But I believe that Uber and Lyft, together with Tesla, is a group of companies that have a ton of opportunity. I think that as we go into the next decade, you're going to see increased regulation, and you're going to see more rideshare. You're going to see more subscription-based transportation. And Lyft absolutely is dominant. And they're beginning to search for their niche. And I think that they're finding it, and the stock's done this. It fell. It got into a decline phase. It got into a despair phase when everybody gave up on it. It built its way out of it, and today it broke out. Now, I would love a little pullback. You'll see my chart in a minute. And that's where I want to hold for the bigger gains in the middle of 2026. And here's how I trade specifically. I'll do share accumulation, and I'll take some risk strategically with options. And I like to be able to sell down my option position because it makes me feel good that I made some money on higher risk, and it makes me feel like I can hold my shares longer. That's my strategy. Michael, why don't you kick things off, and then we'll see, because we haven't talked about Lyft. You kick things off, and then I'll share my chart, and we'll wrap up this video. Yeah, I'll try to keep one eye on SPY too.
It's flushing again, Josh.
Flushing.
Yeah.
I had to sell so I could get my eyes off of it, but if you guys held, then you're sitting pretty That was the best trade of the session on puts, and that worked out really nicely. And they're continuing to print. So go ahead, Michael. Your screen's up.
Yep. Lyft, I've covered this in the past week or two for a lot of people kept asking about it. And here was the breakout moment. I told everybody over $20. You're gonna start breaking out. This thing has just climbed and climbed and climbed. Here was the breakout moment for me, $20.50. Unfortunately, it happened in pre-market, but now this pulled back hard today. I would like to see it hold about 2180, Josh. That's the shelf that it's built for now.
Yeah.
When I go back on the daily, I had a large right here. This is going to be staying over 23. Once we break 23 and start closing over it, then we've got room. If my chart will work here, then we got room to start filling that gap. Let me turn these EMAs off here, all the way back up to here. So this was the breakout move that everybody was waiting for and looking. Now you've got a huge empty spot. Look, there's nothing up. There's just not much up through here to hold us back. Down here's where all the volume was. This was accumulation for a long time. Go to a weekly chart. You can look. Same thing. This is the level to get over and break. We got to get over this right here, around $23, and then start closing. Once we start closing over it, I think Josh just gave you a lot of good fundamentals. It's got the fundamentals to go. Very bullish looking right now. 72 on the RSI on the weekly. This thing will push up fast once it starts closing over this level. That's about what I got on it, brother.
Thank you. I'm going to make a quick comment about Michelle Feinstein's been with this channel and this community for a long time. She really helps out a lot of people. And I have, over time, begun to trust her more and more. And she just made a comment I wanted to respond to. She says, I always lose when I don't take at 20%. I did an APLD call, and I did not take it 20%, and I broke even. You know what, guys? This is more important than lyft for me. Let me just take a minute and talk with y'all. You've got to you got to really think through and be more dimensional with your risk and profit strategy. If you take a larger position, but you're more willing to cut it down to a price, to a point at which you feel more comfortable. So you can take your biggest position, and when you get 10%, you could cut it in half. And then if you get 20%, you can cut it down more. And you'll feel so good about the money you made that you could put your stop loss in at break even, and you could then allow that remainder of the position, right, which could still be big. But just remember, you took a bigger position at lower percentages. That position could still be decently sized. Now you let that one run 30, 40, 50, 60%. You actually saw that demonstrated right in front of you today. You saw me taking profit along the way, and then I had the smallest position going for the biggest percentage gains. Most retail traders do the opposite of that. They do the exact opposite, and you learn as you go. But Michelle, I just want to recognize you. Thank you for being part of our community. Let me take a minute and look at lyft with you guys. Okay. Michael's technicals were spot on. He's 100% right. First of all, I always like to go back to this IPO price back here, because this will one day come back into effect. Ultimately, lyft is projected to be profitable. Some people speculated in 2025. I think it's more realistic going into 2026. So they're probably going to be a little late on it. But I think that we did exactly what Michael said. We fell into this decline. Everything beneath this line was despair. Couldn't get out of despair, couldn't get out of despair, couldn't get out of despair. But just like the SWAT team that hits the door over and over again, it finally broke today. So this chart, I'm a chart trader. I do care about the fundamentals. I spent a lot of time researching the fundamentals and what people thought about lyft and their opportunity to compete and the dynamic of them getting market share and struggling with their margins and just the price of gas. If it went up, it could destroy the company. Like everything could go south if there's global conflict and the price of gas shoots through the roof. Lyft's profitability would fall apart. And so don't ever just examine the bull side. Having said that, Michael's 100% right. This was a classic dynamic of sideways movement, people forgetting about it, it making a series of higher lows as it went until it eventually broke out of this key level of resistance. Now, here's my exact strategy, and I'm going to show you guys. These are the lines, and I do these charts, Michael, and I'm going to tell you,
Yes, sir.
screenshot this, people. Screenshot it, because you're going to see it again on this page. You're going to see it again, and you're going to be hearing me say, I told you, I told you. Well, it'd be better to be part of the I told you today than later on when we're sitting up here and you're like, hey, should I buy some Lyft, Josh? Should I buy some Lyft? Okay, here's my exact strategy, okay? So in this move, the expected move that we've got, this could still run up between 26 and 27. That's the full fulfillment of this breakout move that we're in, okay? Now, I always put on the chart an extended move. Now, what would take this above $27 and into this 30 to 32? It would take an unforeseen catalyst news event, okay, such as a better quarterly earnings than anyone was expecting. Here's what I'm doing, okay? I actually am hoping that we retest this breakout zone. 2080 is that retest, that 2080. I'm hoping that in the month of September, as we near the end, that we actually come back and retest this, because that's where I'm going to be more confident in loading up. I ultimately think in 2020, ahead of us this year, that we will hit these numbers, somewhere between these two numbers. I don't want to chase this level. I'm just going to begin to turn on automatic buys and build my position. And I won't get hurt if it goes up, because everything I buy will be in profit. I won't be hurt if it goes down, because I'll be building a position. The important thing that you guys need to know is that Lyft became important enough that I'm sharing it with you. So far, setting up for the month of October, I have two stocks. UPS, have not alerted it yet. I'm watching it carefully, but it could be alerted as October's buy. It could be. And Lyft, I haven't officially alerted it, but I'm suggesting strongly that it likely will be my number one pick for October. And but I really want it on a pullback. I want it between $20 and $19. And those shares I might not ever sell. I may just also buy leaps and then sell those when we get to 27 to 30 bucks. Those are the important lines on the chart. 20 to 19 to 18 is your that's the ideal buy range. And what you don't have to believe or do anything. But what I have to believe is that we fell, we consolidated, and somebody's beginning to be an early buyer on this. And they know stuff we don't. And today it broke out, and the best thing it could do would be to pull back a little bit and let us buy. But if it keeps climbing, I'm going to keep buying. So anything in this zone, if you had been an investor when this was down at $14, you might be in a different boat. But if you haven't been loading the boat, you want this to linger at this level. I think ultimately we go into 2026. Lyft could be one of the best performing stocks of 2026 as they emerge into profitability, as rideshare, robo-taxi, and Uber continue to climb.
I agree, Josh. I like it. I like the story of it too.
Yep. I'm just reading some comments. You feel free to call out any comments you'd like, and we're going to be wrapping up this show in a little bit. ChemVet, he often does well in these sessions. Oh, he lost 1,200 on 660 calls. I don't know how you did that, ChemVet. I don't know how you did that. Little dead time. I apologize, guys. I'm just reading these comments. Guys, in the Stocks with Josh Discord, remember this video was originally planned just for the community, but I've shared it publicly on YouTube. We added Tamir is here, and I want you guys to go over and subscribe to his page. There's a reason why he's been made a crown trader. And also Sniper is back, and he already alerted some nice wins. Sniper is a crown trader because he's profitable and he takes risk and he's willing to share those buy and sell orders. He doesn't get anything from it. Being a crown trader doesn't make you any money. Some of the guys are building their own presences. Some are not. Sniper's not. He's retired and he's a profitable trader, and he's just willing to, he likes our community. He's willing to share his trades. We appreciate him doing that. Guys, if you want to join, the name of the website is the name of the show. All you got to do is type in www.stockswithjosh.com. The likes should be at 2,000. That would be a great show for me. And I think we earned them today. We got 60% on puts. We got 35% twice on calls. We got 20% on puts. And a little in and out, 4% loser. If you didn't succeed for whatever reason, I don't know why, but if you didn't succeed, then this is about, I'm going to promote my guy here, Michael. If you didn't succeed, it's about getting better at getting in and out. It's about getting better at the tools to this trade. Michael does some coaching, and go over to Michael's page. Michael, what is the way to get a hold of you for coaching?
They can email me, Josh. If they go watch my page, over at the Spy Lord YouTube page, they can email me at spy.lordscalps@gmail.com. spy.lordscalps@gmail.com.
Wonderful.
Or the best way, Josh, is to join the Discord, and then they can just tag me in there and talk to me, and they'll always be around. That's the best way to learn. Get in a community that is driven on teaching and build up the right way. Guys, I've been following Josh since way before he ever had a Discord. I followed him since the first day he was on Larry Jones's show, and now I am more than blessed and thrilled. I get to sit beside this dude that I've looked up to for a few years now, and take everything I've learned from him, and even becoming friends with him, and get to share it with everybody. I'm telling you, he has built the community the correct way from the ground up, slowly, methodically, and in a way that is benefit. He don't have to. I'm telling you right now, Josh don't have to be here. Josh don't have to be on YouTube. Josh don't have to do any of this stuff. He loves doing it, and he's got the heart. He's got the heart. He's got the heart. And that is why this is the community to be in, because of the heart. And I'll shut up there, Josh.
I appreciate that, Michael. Yeah, I think the community is important. We try to avoid things that are polarizing or divisive. This is a community where if you're old, you're young, you're safe, you're going to be honored. We're not going to curse. We're just going to be respectful towards everybody in the community, especially the women. It's just some environments, people will post things that are inappropriate because it's not public, and we don't do any of that.
That's right.
We're trying to build people up. And I appreciate everybody that's part of my team. They're all people that I trust. Looks like there's plenty of winners. Now, there's a lot of people out there that aren't used to the trading action that we've shared today. In particular, we've taught many things about the charts, and the folks that are in this community know about the A+ trade setups. They know about those lines that were seen on the chart, so they understood that risk was better when we crossed above or beneath them. And so they were already thinking about taking their own decision based on my technicals that I provide. We also teach that there's no special mystery or magic option that you choose that's profitable. You can, as long as you're getting in a vehicle when the stock begins to move, you'll print some money. And so if you're waiting and you're sitting there going, what's the delta on this one? What's the IV? None of that matters. The Greeks don't matter when you're going to get in and out in 2 minutes. And so we teach those things. And so pretty much the community is used to, when we say, I'm looking at puts, I'm in them, they know that they have to look at puts and they have to make their own decision. This was an easy trade day. So if it wasn't easy, then there's some more for foundation to be laid, guys, and you can lay it. And this can be life-changing for you. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to do another follow-up video on Lyft again, because I think it's one that we got to keep our eyes on. And I'm going to be traveling tomorrow, so I don't know what I'll be doing the rest of this week. I'm going out to the event in Hampton, Virginia. It's going to be me, Stock Up with Larry Jones, Keenan Grace, Charles Robinson. His brother, David Robinson, is going to be the keynote speaker at the church on Sunday. He's a man of faith, but he's also a man of finance. The dude has made a lot of money. He's a strong investor. He understands how to grow wealth. He's not just a basketball guy. He's a king in finance. And so I can't tell you how excited I am to listen to him speak and hang out with him and his brother and the guys. I hope to meet you guys over there. We'll definitely make time to take some pictures and put a hug on you. Appreciate you all. Peace and blessings. Hit that like on the way out and the subscribe if you're not part of the community. Talk to you later.